And in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to remove the shadows. And as you can see, I sorted out the shadows quite well in my previous step. However, there's one thing I couldn't do this by this previous step. As you can see, the face is super clear right now, but this step I'm going to show you right now, I don't think I have to remove something more. And usually when I cannot sort out something by my previous step, I'm going into this step to do this. But I did really well in the previous step. I'm really happy by the work I did. So I have one more thing to do. Here, as you can see, the model has a lot of wrinkles sometimes. And I'm not a huge fan of removing this because it's just going to look well. Of course, some people might like it. And I was telling to you a bit about the concept of beauty. And my concept of beauty and the concept of beauty I consider as the right one is not to remove the wrinkles, but make them a bit smaller and make them suitable to the face of the model. So I'm creating a new layer above this group, let's say. I'm going to choose Clone Stamp Tool. And of course, once again, you can sort out a little bit the settings as I was doing this before. Okay. And of course, I'm going to use a very soft hardness. So my brush looks like this. It's quite soft brush right now. So I'm going to choose the small size and let's have a look on the flow. It's obviously too high, so maybe I'm going to try with 10% or maybe even smaller, 5%. So I'm going to have really a lot of control. And here, a very important thing in the mode, interlighten. Layer, not current layer, because we work on the thin layer, so it will be all layers. So what this step does, as you can see, I have mode lighten. So I'm not going to do something complicated, but I'm just going to brighten up this shadow over here. Let's take a clone from some really nice area and just try to paint a little bit on it. Don't do really much and be really careful because it's easy to do some mistake. Actually, it's not easy to do a mistake on such a simple example, but still I prefer to be careful. And as you can see what I'm doing, I'm just painting on this shadow I had, which was creating kind of a wrinkle. But right now I just brighten this up, so that's what lighten does. If you have a wrinkles, just brighten this up. And let's have a look from the distance. That was before and that's after. What we did is just we brightened up some areas. Of course, it's easy to make a mistake, as always, and I don't really want to play in the layer mask, so I'm just going to use eraser tool. It's not really something wrong to use eraser tool sometimes. And I'm just going to keep this suitable. Before, after. Very simple. And to brighten this up a little bit here, as it was really bright area before. And that's how I work. I'm not going to brighten this up more, because I believe it's going to look fake. This area, I don't like this, so I'm just going to work on it a little bit. Again, just brighten this up. So as you can see, it's super powerful step, as well as super easy. Of course, keep the control, don't go too far. Soft flow should give you this possibility to not go too far. And maybe here I have some really weird area. It's not a makeup. It's really difficult to say what is that. So I'm just going to brighten this up quite soft. Did I go too far? Yeah, possibly. So just make it suitable, and right now I find this much more better than before. What I did, I should remove this area as well. So always, that's why I always look from the distance actually to see what I missed. So it all has to, we have to keep the proportion of it. So yeah. And I think that would be it. I want to keep some shadow just for the nice natural look. So as you can see, it's going to look fake if I'm going to put more. And right now it just looks absolutely normal. We keep absolutely the same, the skin texture is absolutely the same, but we just brightened up the area a little bit. And I really like this possibility that gives me this layer, and I don't have many, so I'm just going to keep empty layer here. Just going to call this brightening. And if I would have more areas here, I'm not going to do anything, because anyway I'm going to dodge and burn this area. On the neck I did a lot previously, so there's nothing much to do more. And that's one thing I actually wondered, like, if you cannot remove the wrinkles, that's probably the best thing you have to do. And by the fact we work with frequency separation, you're not going to destroy the texture of it. Our texture is still the same, and we just brighten up some skin. So if you were wondered how I do this, how to remove your wrinkles without making it look fake, that's how you can do this.